ground shake.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Sypher today. I'm sorry I have not been uploading like videos recently. You know, I feel like I haven't been uploading as much as I have in the past weeks. Just with some stuff's been happening, but I plan on uploading a little bit more, getting some more done. Hopefully, I don't promise anything, honestly. I feel like I'm gonna get a couple videos done tonight. I'm talking about some stuff. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I kind of want to give my honest opinion on this game, Modern Warfare. As you guys can see by the title, I'm actually going to rate this game, or the multiplayer, out of 10. If you guys don't know, I did a ranking on Black Ops 3, not Black Ops 3, I mean Black Ops 4, and I do a ranking after the game first comes out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a ranking after the game comes out now as well. If you, like, at the end of the year, if it's cycle. Just because I feel like I should. Because sometimes the games really flop. AKA Black Ops 4. But I'm gonna give this game an honest opinion, an honest rating of how I feel the game works, how the game modes, and the new stuff, and the new operators, and the new whole kind of spectrum of all of that. You know, honestly, I kind of want to take this game into perspective because I feel like a lot of people are just smashing this game to the ground. Which is not bad. I mean, it's not bad to give the game criticism for what you think it deserves, but today's video, I think I want to make it a little bit positive, so, you know, Activision and Infinity Ward have something to go around of what most people do like, because I'm pretty sure the things that I do like are things that a lot of people do like as well. So if you guys don't know, my scale is at 0 is complete utter fail, don't play, 10 is ultimate badass achievable score, which not that many games will ever achieve that statutes or status ever, because, you know, it's just impossible. And then usually around, you know, about 3 to 1 is epic fail seal, and then 8 to 10 is badass seal of approval, aka like a must own game kind of thing, kind of seal on, so that, you know, you kind of get some more emphasis into it. And of course, when the first game fully comes out, I rate each game mode. So, like, for example, I'll rate the multiplayer, I'll rate the zombies, and then I'll rate the campaign, and then I'll do an overall rating so people kind of know the package that they're getting with the deal. But today, since we only have access to the multiplayer, we've only had access to the alpha and the beta, I want to talk about that and give that an overall rating, because I feel like some of the good points I'm going to talk about in this video is going to be some of the good points that a lot of people approve of and that a lot of people think is a welcome change. But I'm also going to mention a few things here and there to talk about criticism of why I'm not giving it this score or that score, for example. Is basically how I rate my games and how I rate any game, just because I feel like it's that way. And also, by the way, on my scale, a 7 is not average. On my scale, a 5 is average. Because I feel like average should just be an average rating, aka right in the middle. You know, it's not a good game, it's not a bad game. That's how I feel. Some companies, aka GameStop, their average game is at a 7, and I'm like, then how the fuck does any other game get below a freaking 7? Honestly, because that's just such an awkward rating for average. Really, it really is. My personal opinion. You know, don't quote me on that. But anyway, I would just like to say, let's get on with this. So, first of all, I want to talk about the standard game modes first, and then we'll get into the Conquest, aka Ground War game mode, which is the gameplay I'm using in the background. Honestly, I think the overall gameplay of the game is utterly different compared to what we've played in the past. You know, because sure, it feels like Modern Warfare because of the class system and the loadout and all that stuff, and it has Modern Warfare written across it, and also it's set in a more kind of modern times, kind of, I believe is actually set in 2019 in kind of like alternate universe kind of thing, kind of deal, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a different version compared to ours, our world, but, you know, that's the only thing that's similar. I feel like the gameplay aspect of it is different. Like, it feels different, the movement feels different, the weapons feel different. You know, like, they actually have a ton of recoil for being a Call of Duty game. I've never seen a Call of Duty game with this much recoil on weapons before. So it is a little bit different in that sense. Also, how the game feels, how it runs is a little bit different. Of course, on Ground War, I've encountered a little bit more lags. and a little bit more kind of junky frame rates when a lot of stuff is happening on the screen. But I kind of expect that from a beta. You know, I don't expect it to be perfect, and neither do I expect it to be perfect when the game comes out. It's almost nearly impossible to do. You know, server issues and all that kind of stuff, you know, but it's playable. It is definitely playable. It usually only happens when you have like 10 enemies on screen, 3 friendlies, and a helicopter and a tank, and explosions happening every 5 seconds. That's usually when you get more of the framey issues, but you know, it's not that bad. It's not like 100% unplayable. It's not like, oh, you know, you can only play it for this long and then it'll just glitch out on you. No, it's still good. But I also have encountered a little bit of that in the standard game modes, so I'm kind of a little confused about that, you know, because Team Deathmatch and Dominations have been things forever in Call of Duty, but, you know, it's okay. Map designs, though, I mean, they're good for some maps. Like, the cave one, Arzon Cave, I think is how you pronounce it, is kind of my least favorite right now. Just because I feel like, especially on Domination, half of the map is like 1/4 of or 1/3 of the map, which is far to the right if you're spawning on the A flag, I think. And then it's on your far left if you're spawning like on the Russian side. It's your left. If it's your normal good guy side, it's on your right. That whole side of the map is like hardly ever used at all. It's only like the middle and the cave, because that's where the cave flag is B. It's in that area. I would like the B flag to be in the middle of the map for that map, just because I feel like the map would be played more out better, because when it's in the cave, it just feels like that is just too clustered. Like, it feels too clustered in that 1/3 of the map, so it feels like the other 2/3 of it, especially 1/3 of that, is like hardly ever played. So it kind of is a little bit unbalanced there. The other maps, though, I have found to be a little bit more balanced. I feel like my favorite for Domination is the city one. I really do love that one. That one plays nice with Domination. B flag is not too hard or too difficult for one side or another to capture it, but it's also not too hard to lock down. If that makes sense. Like, you can definitely lock it down and hold your position if there's a couple of you on that flag. You know, stuff like that. It kind of makes sense. You know what I'm talking about? Another thing I don't like, though, is that I feel like you know, there's not a lot of different routes to take on that map. You know, it's a little too, like, some routes, like, there's not too many flanking routes from one side to the other, if that makes sense. I also do like that extra sprinting mode where you can double tap sprint. You can run even faster for, I think it's like 3, 4, 5 seconds. Now, that's not bad. That's a awesome change to Call of Duty. Kind of changes up the gameplay a little bit, so you can run normally and then extra sprint when you ever have to get to position fast or whatever. I do like the specialists or operators in this edition better, because it's just a character skin that you can customize in the future, but then you actually get to pick, you know, which bonus you want to get, and they're all pretty reasonable. Like, there's nothing there that's really game breaking besides stopping power is the only one I can feel that would be game breaking in the future. But you know, the deployable cover is my favorite so far. The ammunitions box is definitely good if you're playing like Domination or Team Deathmatch. You can throw it next to an objective or into a building you're using a lot of, and people can grab ammo as they go, you know, if they need more ammo or whatever, which is good. I like that. It's an awesome change. We've never had that in Call of Duty. It's always just been scavenger. I like the perk system. You know, you get our loadout system. You get 1 perk, 1 lethal, 1 primary, one primary weapon, and 1 secondary weapon. You know, or 1 tactical is what I meant earlier. And it feels nice. Like, you also get 5 attachments for your primary and secondary, so you kind of feel like you have a variety of choices to make. So it doesn't feel like you're going to be lacking an area. You know, the customization is nice. I just feel like I think the weapon leveling should be a little bit lower, because like once you get past like weapon level like 3, it takes forever to get weapon upgrades. Like, it takes like 2 games to get a weapon upgrade, which is a little bit ridiculous, and that's like averaging like 20 kills each game, especially if it's Domination. You know, it kind of feels a little bit, you know, and on that part, kind of. Another thing I want to gripe about, though, is it just, like, I don't know, like some maps they flow better than others, but I like how most of the maps are not camper friendly in the sense that you just can't camp in one area and not be dominated by someone else. You know, maybe the town one if you're like camping in like one of the corner buildings of the map, but yet again, I hardly ever see people camping when I'm playing, personally. But camping is an issue in this game that they do need to fix. Like, they need to have something with camping. You know, a little bit of change or whatever would be nice. Another thing I like that I don't like though is how I use Ghost a lot, but I don't like how Ghost works even when you're not moving. I know that's an old thing from the old Call of Duties and they're trying to implement that back, but you know, if you're camping, it kind of Ghost is then overpowered at that point, you know. But you know, it's whatever. Also, I feel like some of the guns, like shotguns, they definitely be buffed just a little bit with the shotguns. Just because they're not always a one-hit kill at certain ranges, but you know, they do need to be buffed up, just like a little bit, like either buff up the damage a little bit, or tighten the spread for the pellets, or increase the range of max damage capacity, just to get those quick, easy one-shot kills from a little bit of range. Because right now it kind of feels like you need to be up in their face with shotguns, which is not a bad thing, but it just make it a little bit more fun for people who like to use shotguns. Personally, that's how I feel. Also, I feel like Ground War needs a lot of balancing on the one map that they had us play Ground War on. Like, it feels like the map doesn't flow that good in the center. Like, there's too many areas where you can't reach unless you go through a building that is either held by a flag position, so you can't get on the top roof to kill the guy that's wrecking you from like 50 miles away. So it kind of needs more areas and routes to get to the roofs and stuff like that, personally, but that's how I feel. But everything I love the customization, I love the changes, the maps are pretty good. Arizona Cave is the only one I think that needs to be a little bit fixed on domination. On Team Deathmatch, though, it plays pretty nice. Ground War needs to have those bugs fixed, more ways of flanking the buildings, and to get on top of the buildings would be a nice welcome as well. A couple of other things, you know, changes to just looks and textures and stuff like that would be nice. But everything plays well. The game is not bad. It's not great either, but you know, before a beta for Call of Duty, this is probably the best one I've ever played that I feel like I'm actually going to spend my money right. And that's been a long time since Call of Duty, because Black Ops 4 I was kind of like, I don't want to spend $200 without campaign, but I still did it anyway just because I love zombies and I wanted the zombies mystery box, and that's the only reason why I did it. This game I'm also spending $200 as well just to get the collector's edition, because I really love having a collector's edition. So, you know. But for the final rating of Modern Warfare's beta multiplayer early access gameplay, which I don't think we get any more of it because we're already in October. Actually, no, it's tomorrow. The 1st of October is tomorrow. I think, I'm not sure. Yeah. So, you know, we're not gonna have any more gameplay, you know, since we're in October now. So, you know, I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to rate this because it's not average, but then it's not the greatest we've seen of Call of Duty. So, you know what? I'm gonna give it a, and I don't do 0.5s either. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10, which is slightly above average. I'm not giving it a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10 is above average. 6 out of 10 of my skill is slightly above average, just because it's average in the way that, you know, it's not the best that Call of Duty can do, definitely not, but, you know, I feel like it just needs a little bit more fixes, a few more things to add to the game, you know. And multiplayer wise, no, we need to see more of the maps, we need to see more of the game modes, we need to see more of the customization, you know, we need to see more of all of that stuff, and maybe then it'll get a higher rating. But as it stands right now, it's definitely not good, you know, for Infinity Ward. You know, I've seen better. And also another thing that's not giving it a 7 out of 10 is that the hit detection right now is ass. Like, usually Infinity Ward has good hit detection, but I've never seen it this bad in an Infinity Ward game. It is really bad in this game from long range distances, the hit detection just goes bonkers. Close range, medium range, it's really good. It definitely needs fixes though on its long range hit detection. Personally, that's how I feel because I've played Infinity Ward before, so you know, I just feel like it needs more fixes there, it needs some more bugs and stuff like that figured out. But you know, it's definitely a 6 out of 10, slightly above average. If you didn't play the open beta, I would not recommend going out and spending $100 or anything more than just buying the standard edition to get this game if you're not sure. I'm doing it just because I want the collector's edition, and either way I'm going to play this shit ton of the campaign. But if you're just in it for the secondary game mode and the multiplayer as it is right now, I would not recommend pre-ordering it. If you didn't play the beta and didn't do any of that, don't pre-order it. Just wait for the Black Friday sale and the Christmas sale, so the game would be lowered to like $30 or some shit like that at GameStop. Then buy it then, or buy it off the store from PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. Just don't pre-order it. I feel like if you didn't get the chance to play it, this is definitely not that good of a multiplayer aspect, just because, you know, from what I've played, what I've seen, it's definitely not good. In that sense, it's not like, oh yes, I'm not gonna say go pre-order right now, it's ultimate badass. You know, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you didn't play the beta or nothing like that, don't rush into GameStop to pre-order this game now, because you may be a little bit disappointed if the multiplayer is gonna be as weak as it is right now, because it's just weak from what we've known. It's the same thing with Black Ops 4's multiplayer. Like, it feels really strong in the beginning, but then you can definitely spot its weak points. And if Infinity Ward doesn't listen to the community and listen to our weak points and feedback, then it's going to be another repeat of Black Ops 4. So I would wait to see and wait for the game to at least go on sale for you to buy it. Then go for it, man. But definitely, if you have not already pre-ordered this game and played the beta, or have not played the beta at all, the open beta, then don't pre-order it. Don't go rushing to the store now to pre-order it. It's a 6 out of 10, slightly above average, needs a lot more fixes and stuff like that. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed today's honest review of Modern Warfare. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.